Guten Tag, mein Name ist Alan. I'm going to review LEGO Indiana Jones The Original Adventures. I played this game many times when I was young. This was the first LEGO game I played. LEGO Indiana Jones The Original Adventures was developed by Traveller's Tales. The game was published by LucasArts. Faro Interactive ported the game to Mac OS X. This game is available for PC, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, PlayStation Portable, and Xbox 360. This game is playable on the Steam Deck, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. In this video, I will be talking about the Windows version of the game. I recorded this game on my computer. Critics and gamers rate this game with positive reviews. The game won the VGX award for best game based on a movie or TV show. Does this game hold up to this day? Let's jump in and find out. The game covers the three films: Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, and The Last Crusade. You get to play with 60 characters from the Indiana Jones franchise, such as Indiana Jones, Wehrmacht soldiers, Henry Jones Sr., and Fuggies. Compared to the films, the levels are faithful to the source materials. Obviously, the game is less gruesome and scary than the films. There are no Carabiner 98K, Welfare PPK, Lugers, and machine and pistol Vierzins firearms to use. The firearms consisted of an SMG, a revolver, bazookas, and a rifle. Other weapons are swords, grenades, spears, and crossbows. After completing all the levels in the three films, you get access to free play and bonus levels. Once you unlock most of the characters, you can access the areas in Indy's office and all the levels. Free play allows you to change into any character to access secret locations you cannot access. The bonus levels consist of Young Indy, Ancient City, and a warehouse. My favorite bonus level is Young Indy. Young Indy is an adventure level where you get to play as Young Indy and a Boy Scout in 1912. Ancient City is a sandbox where you apply all the game mechanics to explore the area. I recommend unlocking most of the characters to access everything in Ancient City. A warehouse is a place where you destroy objects to get studs. In addition, you can use a panzer. I find the warehouse to be dark. The graphics are great. The textures look good. The animations are smooth. The LEGO models look real and accurate to the films. The lighting effects look surreal. The water and particle effects are great. The pools of water and waterfalls in the LEGO games look great. The snow and sand do not leave footprints behind. Unfortunately, there are still some jagged edges in the cutscenes and games. Personally, the jagged edges don't bother me. I find the graphics hold up to this day. Impressively, the game is easy to run. The user interface for selecting the missions is fine. It is easy to move the magnifying glass with my controller, joystick, or keyboard. Barnett College has separate rooms for artifacts, exploration, cheat codes, cutscenes, and character creation. The cutscenes are good. They are well made and feel accurate to the films in a kid-friendly manner. They can be watched through in the theater. When playing through the story mode, I cannot skip the cutscenes. The characters are well detailed. Some rolling animations feel like there is some delay at the end. For example, the Jock's rolling animation feels like he's sitting, then he stands up. Indiana Jones' rolling animation feels great and smooth. As expected, the soundtrack is from the original soundtracks of Indiana Jones movies. It is great, memorable, and catchy. There is no voice acting. The sound effects are accurate. The gun sounds are weak. The explosion sounds are weak. Characters jump, run, swing, slide, and roll. Characters can put their back to the wall and move slowly. In addition, they can hide in bushes and barrels. Indiana Jones and custom characters can use the whip to attack enemies, move, and grab objects. If you position yourself correctly, you can kill enemies with the whip. The major characters are unlocked through completing the story modes. Enemy characters are purchased from the Barnett College library. Some characters are reskins, such as the Wehrmacht officers. There is one in a gray uniform. Another is in a tan Africa Corps uniform. They both throw grenades at enemies. Some reskins are better. For example, Indiana Jones with the army disguise allows me to successfully interact with guard doors. Characters are unlocked by completing the story mode, purchasing through the shop, and unlocking with cheat codes. Throughout many levels, players traverse through temples, jungles, buildings, and cities. They solve puzzles and fight enemies. They explore artifacts, Star Wars cameos, and secrets. The levels are well designed. They feel like there is life in them. On some levels, you can access vehicles such as motorcycles, cars, and the Opel Blitz truck. The driving mechanics take some time to get used to, but they are fun. Ironically, another character cannot occupy the sidecar of the motorcycle. Players encounter various puzzles with obstacles and objects. For example, they need to use a blue book to match various glyphs. Other puzzles involve finding parts to build Lego objects. Some obstacles are hard. In the Last Crusade level, the Temple of the Grail, there is a spear trap that can kill you if you do not time the jumping properly. It is frustrating. I managed to get a laugh when I repeatedly jumped to that spear trap in co-op mode. Players battled the Wehrmacht, Thuggies, Chinese gangsters, animals, and Hovitos tribesmen. In German, the Wehrmacht soldiers are called Soldaten der Wehrmacht. The Hovitos tribesmen throw spears and shoot crossbows at the players. The Soldaten der Wehrmacht and Chinese gangsters fire bullets. The Wehrmacht bazooka troopers fire rockets. The Wehrmacht officers throw granadas at the players. The Thuggies shoot the players with crossbows or charge and attack the players. The artificial intelligence for the enemies is good. Fighting the enemies is simple. From my experience, the majority of them are in groups. Using long-range weapons and guns require you to face the enemy or object. It does take some practice. The rifles, pistols, and crossbows function the same. They involve you to face in the direction of the enemy and shoot. The submachine gun is great and powerful. It allows the player to shoot 3 bullets at enemies. They feel fun to use and fight with. With the spear or sword, you can throw it at groups of enemies and kill many of them in a line. It is hard, fun, and satisfying. I think my highest kill streak is 4 enemies. Another satisfying and hilarious part of the combat is the environmental kills. From my experience, it is hard to do. They require good positioning and timing. It may be easier with a second player. For example, you can push a panzer down the cliff in the Last Crusade level, Desert Ambush. One annoying aspect of the combat is getting one shot by explosives. It is a bit irritating. At least the players respawn quickly. Note that you do not lose the game when you die. Another feature is the phobia system. Some characters are terrified of snakes, spiders, or rats. For example, Indiana Jones is terrified of snakes. When a character is scared, they move slowly and cannot attack. With the whip, Indiana Jones can kill snakes. This is hard to do. You need good positioning and make sure the character faces the snake a few feet away. There are 2 ways to work around the phobia system. One way is to use a vehicle or animal to run over and kill the snakes or bugs. Another way is to use fire to cross over pits of snakes, bugs, or rats. In the book Greek Fire, Poison Arrows, and Scorpion Bombs by Adrian Mayer, I learned how elephants were used in combat and transportation. In addition, I learned how animals such as rats and snakes are used in combat. Another feature LEGO games have is a character creator. The character creator allows users to customize their own minifigures and give them a tool or weapon. Unfortunately, there is no way to create a character that jumps high. In addition, the character cannot have short legs. Another feature is the extras. Extras enhance the game. Some extras function like cheats. For example, there are extras that can help make the player invincible or increase stud collection. I don't like the ice ring extra. The ice ring extra makes the game feel harder. I don't like slipping and sliding around. All the extras are found in levels through mailboxes. Extras are purchased in the mail room. When artificial intelligence attacks enemies, it manages to stun them. The stunning lasts for a few seconds. Within those few seconds, it can help finish them off or get a task done. Sometimes artificial intelligence can help you out with puzzles and stunning enemies. If the AI has a rocket launcher, it can kill enemies, sometimes. The game can be played with 1 or 2 players. Playing this game with a second player is fun. Co-op mode does not make the game better. With a friend, you can solve puzzles together and fight enemies effectively. In my opinion, co-op mode is better with 2 controllers, so we won't have to share the same keyboard together. Alternatively, one player can use a keyboard and another can use a controller. Although the game allows you to play with a second player, it does not have split screen. If one player goes too far, there is an elastic band that drags the player to the maximum distance. I do not have the exact measurement of the maximum distance. In conclusion, LEGO Indiana Jones The Original Adventures is a great game. The graphics still stand to this day. The puzzles and combats are fun. The co-op mode is fun. I give this game a 7 out of 10. If you like LEGO games or Indiana Jones, I recommend this game. If you're new to LEGO games, I recommend giving this game a try. I want to give thanks to my friend Justin for helping me play through the co-op sections. I want to thank everyone for subscribing and watching this video. Hit that red subscribe button and like button down below. Auf Wiedersehen!